Watch out for the hurricane. Stay safe. TIFU by making such a disgusting smell from my butt it evacuated a courtroom. So this happened about 5 hours ago. So today I woke up and had really painful cramps due to the deadly woman's monthly cycle, mixed with some spiced chicken that hadn't set right in my belly all night. I go to the toilet about 3 times before work this morning, but it's eased off a bit, so take tablets, grin, and bear it, then leave for work. Now my job is working within the prison system and escorting prisoners to certain places, including courts. This is where it all went downhill. I had to escort this prisoner over to the witness box and stand next to her, open court. So I do my usual, but my tummy has started to really hurt again. I'm trying my absolute best to put off a fart which I know is brewing, but can't hold it much longer. So I do a really silent one and pat myself on the back thinking I had got away with it. That is until the prisoner starts coughing and retching and shouting, "What the duck's that?" I quickly realize what it must be, but can't admit to such a foul, putrid smell, so start crinkling my nose as well and gagging. The admin clerk walks slightly closer and retches so hard she had to swiftly put her head in the bin. By this point it's getting loud and chaos is starting to ensue. Not what you want in court, in front of the district judge. He quickly tells me to take the prisoner back over to the closed dock and states it must be the pipes. He stands down the whole of court and makes maintenance come in to check all pipes for any leaks, cracks, anything which could have made that smell happen. Prisoner still has watery eyes, pretending to gag, and the clerk is sipping water next to a bucket. TLDR. So yeah, court was stood down for over an hour whilst it was searched for the cause of a smell. Not knowing the cause was back down in the cells, hanging her head in shame and regaling to her co-workers about the leaky pipe upstairs. He stands down the whole of court and makes maintenance come in to check all pipes for any leaks, cracks, anything. He didn't check all the cracks. Can I buy you the same chicken and ask you to shut down a certain bank branch that treated me like crap? I feel like this needs to be an available paid service. I would pay good money for some righteous revenge crop dusting. Bangs gavel. Odor. Odor in the court. This pun stinks. I have similar thing happen when I first starting dating my husband. Lying in bed I had to fart so bad, but when had only been together 2 months. Worst period mixed and a spicy curry that didn't sit well. I thought it would be okay. Nope, let it out, immediately gagged. He has a sweet little dog curled up with us and I blamed it on him. My now husband booted him from the room. I confessed 7 years later and he remembered vividly and didn't talk to me for 2 days because I had betrayed his dog. TIFU by not reading the menu carefully at Gordon Ramsay steakhouse. So my girlfriend and I are in Atlantic City for 2 nights, our first vacation of any sort since COVID-19 started. We made reservations tonight for outdoor poolside dining at Gordon Ramsay Steak at the Harras. We were there last year when things were normal and were lucky this was one of the few restaurants open and with good outdoor dining. The Morton Steakhouse has tables set up at the valet parking area at Caesars. We didn't go through with that reservation lol. As such, I figured I'd splurge and get some Wagyu beef. Well, they had real deal Japanese A5 Kobe on the menu and it was cheaper than American Wagyu. The Kobe was only $35 for 4 ounces instead of $80 for 8 ounces of Wagyu. So I'm a big guy, I'm hungry, so I ordered 12 ounces of Kobe. The steak was amazing. I'm in my 40s and only had Wagyu before in my life, just twice. I had never had real deal Kobe. It was like nothing else you'll ever have. Melt in your mouth, delicious. We also ordered a couple of sides, appetizers, and my girlfriend had Chef Ramsay's famous beef Wellington for the first time ever. All in all, an amazing meal, and we were glad we could support the restaurant and its staff during these challenging times. And I still couldn't believe Kobe was cheaper than Wagyu, or so I thought. I had to read the menu again when the bill came because for 2 people the bill was over $600. Turns out the Japanese A5 was $35 per ounce with a 4 ounces minimum purchase size, not $35 for 4 ounces. So, TLDR, today I ducked up by accidentally ordering and eating a $420 steak. Edit, I wish Chef Ramsay was there to come out and call me a donut for ducking this up lol. What you bought was a $600 story. For the rest of your life, every time someone says this is good steak you can say, yeah, but, yeah, what really happened was he spent $600 to be able to be that asshole who can tell people they don't really know what good steak is. Or he could be a bro and go to friends' BBQs and while eating the steak that you just made and be like, you know, I once spent $600 on Kobe beef at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant and this steak you just made is every bit as good as that was. That's pretty common at super high-end places. You gotta be real careful. I would think they would make it extra clear what the prices are when dealing with an odd expensive item, so there is no argument later on. If you order something confidently they assume you know what you're doing. That's how I ended up with giant sea snails on my plate at a high-end Italian restaurant. TIFU by making my one-night stand breakfast. I got out of a bad relationship a few months ago and only recently felt good enough to get out of the house again. This was my first ever boyfriend and he turned out to be a piece of crap, so I was obviously a bit hesitant. But some old friends from high school were visiting my town and asked if I wanted to go on a bar crawl with them, and I figured duck it. It's not like anything will happen other than getting drunk with some pals, so why not? At the first bar we run into a group of guys from my university. I had seen some of them around but never spoke to them before. One of my friends decides she's going to force me to get out of my shell and drags our group over to talk with them. I'm extremely quiet, like weirdly quiet to most people, so I end up sitting in the corner of our booth and not saying anything, just drinking and feeling awkward. Well, one of the guys in the other group, let's call him Adam, is also being weirdly quiet, so my friends and his friends, who are already tipsy, decide to make things as awkward as possible by making us play truth or dare, except we have to drink when we don't want to answer something. There are a lot of personal/sexual questions neither of us want to answer, so we end up drinking quite a bit. And by the time we are done the first bar, Adam and I are on a whole different plane of existence from everyone else. And it turned out we had a lot in common, and he was pretty cute, and we are goofing around and laughing the whole time. I started to get butterflies in my stomach, and not just from the alcohol. Adam has my exact sense of humor and is really sweet and kind. We wander off and start having deep drunk conversations about feeling left out of things and how annoying it is when people say shut like can they speak. I tell him I'm walking home and he offers to walk with me. I know where this is going, but I'm drunk enough that I don't feel nervous. Plus I feel like I have a genuine connection with this guy. Our friends are wolf whistling as we leave, and instead of being embarrassed, I feel weirdly proud. So we get to my place, talk and smoke for a bit, and do the deed. I wake up earlier than him and decide I'm going to make a nice breakfast. I want to impress him and show him I like him, and everyone likes a good breakfast when they have a hangover, right? So I sneak out of bed and make scrambled eggs, French toast, and sausage. I prefer almond milk, so I use that for the eggs and French toast. He wakes up and tells me I look just as cute sober. At this point I'm convinced he's the love of my life. He sees the breakfast and gets excited, and I'm like, yes, my plan worked. I'm going to get to his heart through his stomach. We eat and everything's going great for a few bites. Then he makes a weird face and clears his throat. His eyes start to widen, and he asks me what if there were nuts in the bread or something. I say no, but I used almond milk. He jumps out of his chair and says call an ambulance right now. I'm freaking the duck out. He's wheezing and stuff and looks absolutely panicked. I ask if he has an EpiPen, and he shakes his head no. So I call an ambulance and tell them he's having an allergic reaction and paramedics come and haul him off. This happened last weekend. I have not heard back from him since. I found his body and confirmed he is not dead. I guess accidentally triggering a severe allergic reaction does not lead to romance. TLDR. Tried to impress my romantic interest by cooking for him. He went into anaphylaxis and no longer wants to speak to me. Contact him. He is probably hella embarrassed too. I know I would have been. He's all heart eyes and forgot to frickin' ask about the food for his own allergies. Reach out girl. Be brave. I was trying to take your breath away by making you breakfast, but not like that. I accidentally stabbed my girlfriend before we started dating. And we've been together for 8 months now, over a year since the incident. Just message him. I'm sure he doesn't hate you. How do you accidentally stab someone? It's easy enough to do. After about the 5th time it gets harder to do accidentally.